It was an ideal start for the Winnipeg Jets in Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. They jumped out to a 3-1 first-period lead over the Vegas Golden Knights, revving up an already boisterous Bell MTS Place crowd properly dressed for the whiteout. For Marc-Andre Fleury, it was 20 minutes to forget, but he was the victim of some tough breaks. The Jets took all of 65 seconds before breaking the 0-0 deadlock, thanks to Dustin Byfuglien blast. 5 minutes later, Patrik Laine was the recipient of a great Blake Wheeler pass for a power play goal to make it 2-0. 46 seconds later it was Joel Armia increasing the lead to 3-0 after the puck deflected off of his skate. It was initially ruled no goal due to goaltender interference, but Winnipeg head coach Paul Maurice smartly used his challenge and the call was overturned. The 3-goal period was the third time this playoffs it's happened to Fleury, who's been spectacular for Vegas in these playoffs. In Games 2 and 5 of the second round, the San Jose Sharks managed to beat him 3 times in a period. Fleury was peppered with 12 shots in the opening 20 minutes, making some tough saves that could have resulted in an even larger deficit. Winnipeg would end up taking Game 1 with a 4-2 victory. For a Vegas team that's averaged 2.9 goals per game through 2 rounds, their offense is going to need to get going in order to keep up with what the Jets can offer. Sean Leahy is a writer for Pro Hockey Talk on NBC Sports. Drop him a line at pitblog@nbcsports.com or follow him on Twitter at Sean Leahy. More Conference Finals schedule, TV info. PHT 2018 Conference Finals Roundtable. PHT predicts NHL's Conference Finals. NBC's Stanley Cup Playoff Hub. The first period of Game 1 ended with an exchange that felt like a hockey clash of the Titans, as Ryan Reaves got into a physical exchange with Dustin Byfuglien. In an ideal world for the Vegas Golden Knights, such a battle would consume Byfuglien's attention. After all, the red-hot roving defenseman scored the 1-0 goal very early into Game 1, helping the Winnipeg Jets storm off to a 3-0 lead. The Golden Knights cut the lead down to 3-1 as the first period ended, but that required some big saves from Marc-Andre Fleury, who's been beyond busy so far to start this intriguing, unlikely 2018 Western Conference Final. Click here to watch live. Reaves' presence in the Golden Knights lineup can be a matter of debate, but if he can get a single Jet star off his game, it might be worth it. That's especially true considering the way this contest started, as it seems like Vegas is tasting its own medicine a bit as Winnipeg's shown speed, skill, and clever passing to create a slew of dangerous chances. If Reaves and other Golden Knights can buy a retaliatory penalty or two, that might be key. You could argue Jacob Trouba's late penalty might have been an example of this thought process. Reaves' biggest and most memorable moment of the opening frame came when he sent Jets captain Blake Wheeler into the Golden Knights bench. Wheeler seems fine and mad, but took quite a bit of time to make his way out of there. Video of that entertaining moment can be seen above this post's headline. It is in GIF form, as well. More Conference Finals schedule, TV info. PHT 2018 Conference Finals Roundtable. PHT predicts NHL's Conference Finals. NBC's Stanley Cup Playoff Hub. James O'Brien is a writer for Pro Hockey Talk on NBC Sports. Drop him a line at pitblog@nbcsports.com or follow him on Twitter at CycleLikeSettings. The conference finals are now set with the Tampa Bay Lightning and Washington Capitals meeting in the East and the Vegas Golden Knights and Winnipeg Jets facing off in the West. The round to determine who will play for the 2018 Stanley Cup will begin Friday. Here's the full round 3 schedule. Tampa Bay Lightning vs. Washington Capitals Friday, May 11th, 8 p.m., Capitals at Lightning, NBCSN Sunday, May 13th, 8 p.m., Capitals at Lightning, NBCSN Tuesday, May 15th, 8 p.m., Lightning at Capitals, NBCSN Thursday, May 17th, 8 p.m., Lightning at Capitals, NBCSN * Saturday, May 19th, 7:15 p.m., Capitals at Lightning, NBC * Monday, May 21st, 8 p.m., Lightning at Capitals, NBCSN * Wednesday, May 23rd, 8 p.m., Capitals at Lightning, NBCSN Vegas Golden Knights vs. Winnipeg Jets Saturday, May 12th, 7 p.m., Golden Knights at Jets, NBC Monday, May 14th, 8 p.m., Golden Knights at Jets, NBCSN Wednesday, May 16th, 9 p.m., Jets at Golden Knights, NBCSN Friday, May 18th, 8 p.m., Jets at Golden Knights, NBCSN * Sunday, May 20th, 3 p.m., Golden Knights at Jets, NBC * Tuesday, May 22nd, 9 p.m., Jets at Golden Knights, NBCSN * Thursday, May 24th, 8 p.m., Golden Knights at Jets, NBCSN More, PHT 2018 Conference Finals Roundtable PHT predicts NHL's Conference Finals NBC's Stanley Cup Playoff Hub. Sean Leahy is a writer for Pro Hockey Talk on NBC Sports. Drop him a line at pitblog@NBCSports.com or follow him on Twitter at Sean Leahy. Just about everything that has happened with the Vegas Golden Knights this season has been better than expected. Some of it has been shocking. Some of it does not make any sense. Even when you take into account the bad decisions several of the league's general managers made in the expansion draft process, this has still been a team full of players having career years and exceeding expectations, carrying a first-year team to the Western Conference Final, Game 1, 7 p.m. ET on NBC. The biggest surprise has obviously been the emergence of William Karlsson, 40-goal scorer, a performance that nobody should have or could have seen coming, but right behind him in the "how is this happening" discussion might be the development of the team's blue line, which probably seemed to be the weakest part of the roster when it was initially selected back in June. There was some potential to be sure thanks to players like Shea Theodore, a first-round pick by Anaheim in 2013, Nate Schmidt and Colin Miller, all of whom have made a significant impact this season and through the first two rounds of the playoffs. But none of them have been a more pleasant surprise than 36-year-old defenseman Derek Engelland. Engelland has become one of the faces of the franchise for a couple of reasons, not all of them related to just what he is doing as a player. Not only was he resident of the city for more than a decade when the team selected him in the expansion draft, but he actually played hockey in the city more than a decade ago as a member of the ECHL's Las Vegas Wranglers. Before the team's home opener, he delivered an emotional speech in the wake of the Las Vegas shooting in early October, and then followed it up by scoring one of the team's first goals that night. He has been a fan favorite and a leader on and off the ice from the very beginning. He has not stopped making an impact all year and has not only been a surprisingly strong part of the team's blue line, he has done so by completely redefining what he is as a player. For the first part of Engelland's NHL career, he was primarily hired muscle. Not necessarily a pure enforcer in the sense that his only role or ability was to fight, but he was mostly a part-time player that would rarely play more than 13 or 14 minutes per game as a 6th or 7th defenseman. He would drop the gloves when needed or challenged, and mostly made a living throwing his weight around playing a physical brand of hockey. That is what he did. That is what he was viewed as. He did that for parts of 5 seasons as a member of the Pittsburgh Penguins before becoming a free agent prior to the 2014-15 season. It was at that point that he signed a 3-year contract with the Calgary Flames worth just shy of $3 million per season, resulting in one of the more memorable tweets in NHL free agency, "That's per year, a shocking and seemingly excessive amount of money for a player with his resume at that time." What stands out about his performance in Vegas is just how different all of it is from his days in Pittsburgh and Calgary. Take a look at some numbers throughout his career. Some observations: instead of being a bottom-pairing defender that barely played when he was given a jersey, he ended up being a 20-minute-per-night defender during the regular season. The only skater on the Golden Knights that played more minutes than Engelin's 1,602 this season was Schmidt, 1,690. He went from being a player that would routinely fight to a player that did not fight one time all season, the first time in his professional hockey career he went an entire regular season without fighting. He was credited with fewer hits per minute than at any point in his NHL career, and by a pretty significant margin, meaning his game wasn't just about finishing checks and playing physical. When you take into account how much more ice time he received this season, he took fewer minor penalties than at any point in his career. Oh, and he also set career highs in goals, assists, and points. While he has yet to record a point in the playoffs for the Golden Knights, he has ended up playing even more minutes than he did during the regular season, 23 per game, and is playing on the team's top pairing alongside Theodore, a duo that has a 56% shot attempt share during 5-on-5 play and has only been on the ice for 3 goals against in more than 150 minutes of hockey, a natural stat trick. There were some signs over the past couple of years in Calgary that his career was maybe trending in this direction, at least in terms of his ice time and declining hit totals, but things just completely accelerated this season in Vegas. That it happened in his mid-30s after 8 years in the NHL is what makes it so surprising. Players do not usually change that much at this point. And that is kind of what makes Engelland kind of a perfect representation for what this Golden Knights team is all about. A player that got a bigger opportunity than he had ever been given before, maybe with something to prove, and then used all of that to put together a career-best season that exceeded every expectation that had ever surrounded him in his career. More Conference Finals schedule, TV info. PHT 2018 Conference Finals Roundtable. PHT predicts NHL's Conference Finals. NBC's Stanley Cup Playoff Hub. Adam Gretz is a writer for Pro Hockey Talk on NBC Sports. Drop him a line at pitblog@nbcsports.com or follow him on Twitter @agretz.